What's up, guys? Welcome back. 88 Fitness Training. I'm Camille. This is James. And today we're showing you a full day's worth of eating. James is at a maintain, and I am almost ready for a show. So you'll see the stark difference in our diets, you guys. So definitely stick around. Check it out. For sticking around, guys. You know, showing a full days of eating is always very interesting for everyone. They're very curious that, you know, what James eats, being at the IFBB Pro level, as well as myself being an amateur NPC competitor. So today we're going to show you some of those insights and then compare and contrast the differences and explain a little bit about why we eat what we eat. So James, you're at a maintain, so to speak. So let's talk about that and kind of like how you have it structured.
Sure. So the goal was to lean out for the summer. Summer's almost over. I started March, April time frame. I've been cutting calories since then, but I've been at 2,100 calories for I don't know how long. It's been a very long time.
Several weeks.
Maybe 3 months. I mean, it's been a long time. Both vacations, so it's been a while. So basically 2,100 is my maintain at this point. It's around 207, 208, 206, but I'm maintaining at 2,100 calories. That's the goal. As soon as September hits, we're gonna go back to bulk, put some size on for the winter, and then cut it back again next spring.
Yeah, now me, I'm getting ready for a show. So I started prep around the March time frame. So it's about a 20-week prep. I did start at about 1,900 calories, which is a lot for me. But over the weeks, I've chipped away at that. So I am sitting at around 1,000. Most people are like 1,000, like that's not enough for body functions. And so I do want to talk about that a little bit, you guys. Like, I am a very petite female. Like you just heard, James, as big as he is at 207 pounds, is eating 2,100. Well, I'm only 130 pounds, you guys. So 1,000's not that low for me, you guys.
No, it's not unheard of either when you're looking at prep and competitions. And matter of fact, if I was doing a competition, I would keep dropping calories so I could keep leaning out. Don't know where I would land, but it would be a lot less than 2,100.
Right, and I think that's just something I wanted to bring to attention because there's so many comments you get if you talk about what calories you're at and people are like, that's not healthy, get a new coach. Like, you know, it's reality though, it's reality, and I am a small female, so it is fine, you guys. But in terms of kind of where my macros are at, it's around 1,000 calories, and I'm only doing about like 127 grams of protein. So it's kind of like my body weight, you know, at this point. Carbs are low. I am very kind of sensitive to carbs. They cause a lot of fluid retention. So I have those set pretty low. I'm only doing about 41 grams of carbs a day. And then in terms of fat, I have that right around 30 grams. So that just gives you a little insight of where my macros are for what you're gonna see today.
Yeah, good stuff. And I wanna go back to competition. You know, it's called peak week for a reason. You're peaking. You're not gonna stay at that caloric deficit forever. So remember, it's a window of time. It is low, yes. Is it unhealthy? Not necessarily, no. And it's for a limited amount of time.
Absolutely. All right, guys. So, well, you're not here to hear us talk. You're here to see us eat today. So let's go ahead and start eating.
Right, y'all. It's breakfast time. This is my first meal. If you've been watching a while, you know my first meal is the same as it always is. I got beets and a yogurt. I like to eat light throughout the day. If I eat a big meal before, you know, bedtime, it makes me sleepy. I don't care if it's breakfast, lunch, brunch, whatever. If I eat a big meal, I'm dragging, I feel like I want to take a nap, etc., etc. So during the day, I keep my meals very light. I just put a little bit of salt on these beets, open the can, I split the can in half. So this is a can, half can of beets and a yogurt. And I do like them. You know, a lot of people don't like beets. I do. Superfood.
You guys, I call these earth turds. I mean, there's just no way. Maybe roasted beets, but right out of the can like that, can't do it.
Fantastic.
So my breakfast looks a lot different. It's actually my heaviest meal of the day. So I like to kind of front load a lot of my carbs. I like to get the biggest meal in so I have the most amount of energy to get through my grueling training sets later in the day. So right now my breakfast looks like this. I have 1 egg mixed with about a cup of egg whites, which is quite filling. You think 1 egg and egg whites, that's not a lot of volume, but this is quite a lot of volume. And then paired with that, I have these lightly salted rice cakes, which I do, even though they're already salted, I do add a little bit of this pink Himalayan salt. One of the things that's important for a peak week athlete is that electrolyte balance. So it's balancing the potassium with the sodium. When your potassium's higher than sodium, it causes water flushing. And when the sodium's higher than the potassium, it causes you to pull that water in, especially if you're eating carbs. So I try to control that, and I do measure that throughout my day. And then, so after salting the rice cakes, I'll put a little bit of spray butter on. Rice cakes are dry, especially these plain ones, you guys. So this just makes it a little more palatable and easy to kind of eat and consume. And then in terms of condiments, hot sauce is a lifesaver when you're in prep, right? Like food gets pretty bland really quick. So you want something that doesn't have any carbs in it, does have a little sodium, so you do have to account for that. So I'm just gonna go ahead and put some dashes on here. I usually will measure this out, but I've done it a lot, so I know exactly how much to put on there. And then outside of the foods, I also will do, depending on if I already worked out that morning or not, I'll add a scoop of this Dimetized ISO whey protein. It's a really great protein. If you haven't seen this one, it's one of my go-tos for contest prep because there's only 2 carbs per scoop, you guys. And not only that, it still has 25 grams of protein, which is great, right? So it's very comparative to that gold standard whey that I really like without the extra carbs, and it's advertised not to have any potassium, so it's not driving my potassium numbers super high. So if I don't have that, I will usually have some kind of tea. As I mentioned in the beginning, I am just prone to water retention. It's something I've been combating this entire contest prep. So I will, at some point throughout the day, just have this organic dandelion root tea. It's, you know, really easy. It helps with digestion, and again, it helps with water flushing and trying to get everything kind of out of the body. So really great one to add in. And so, yeah, this is what my breakfast looks like. It's, you know, quite a bit of food. It's not really what you would imagine for contest prep. All right, you guys, so I would love to eat fresh eggs every day, but that's not a luxury I have, just how busy James and I are with our schedules. So I definitely have to prep my food ahead of time as well. So with the eggs though, I try to only prep like 3-4 days max. Because it does start to taste a little weird. It's not exactly safe to eat them that long either. So I'm gonna go ahead and make my scrambled eggs. So I do 1 egg with a cup of egg whites. So I'm gonna put 3 eggs in here. So that will be about 3 days worth of eggs, and then I'll have to remake them, of course. But really easy, you know, you just like mix it all up and then toss it in the frying pan, and then you're good to go. You do have to measure it all out after the fact. That way you're kind of making sure you understand the macros. But other than that, it's really easy, you guys. So if this is not a breakfast that you currently eat, I highly recommend it. You know, eggs in particular are really easy on the GI tract. They don't stick around very long, opposed to eating, you know, something a little heavier, like turkey sausage or even oatmeal for that matter. So just like that, and then I'm just gonna stir it up real quick. Got the pan heating up. It does take about 10 minutes or so to scramble these. It takes a little longer than if, you know, you were just doing a single egg in there, but still pretty quick in terms of meal prep. So something a little different from what I was doing when I was off season. I was doing a lot more of like egg bakes where I was mixing the cottage cheese in there with the eggs with some like turkey bacon and stuff like that. So as my calories kind of tapered down, I wasn't able to add the extra calories from the cottage cheese and the turkey bacon. And so ultimately I ended up going with some egg whites and eggs for scrambled eggs. But yeah, pretty simple there. We are going to use a little bit of nonstick spray. We don't want too much. In fact, when I'm in contest prep, I primarily use cooking spray versus like coconut oils or olive oils, just because it's a lot less calories. And that's another consideration too. Whereas if I were making like James's food, I'd probably just toss some coconut oil in there. But those calories count too, so you want to be a little careful. In terms of seasoning, I don't put anything on this, you guys. Like, what you see is what you get. You saw me eating the breakfast earlier where I put the hot sauce on there. So that's about it in terms of spices and condiments. All right, well, I just gotta wait for these to cook up, and then I'll partition them and we'll be good to go. I have a little meal prep buddy too. Meet little Freddie here. He is so patient. He will wait until the whole meal prep is done, just hoping for a crumb or a scrap somewhere. But yeah, this is my little guy, Fred. Such a good boy.
All right, we're meal prepping on the grill again, baby. Check it out. We got Hawaiian chicken kebabs. I'm very excited about that. You see the pineapple, that's what makes it Hawaiian, plus the sauce. So we're meal prepping. This is either gonna be my lunch or my dinner for all week. Here's the other one. Now this is a secret sauce right here. Not too many people know about this one. This is pork chops marinated in Dr. Pepper. Dr. Pepper pork chops, y'all. They are delicious. If you've never tried it out, I highly recommend it. So we had a soda, a Dr. Pepper left from when Kylie was living with us. It's been in the refrigerator forever. I wanted to get it out of here. Camille and I don't drink soda. So, Dr. Pepper pork chops, Hawaiian chicken kebabs. That's gonna be my meal prep, lunch, dinner. Either one, I'll probably swap throughout the week. That's it. I'm looking forward to it. Looking good. Get outside and get your grilling on.
I am so jealous by James's meals for this week. I mean, let's get another close-up of these chicken kebabs. Like the sauce, the pineapple, the peppers, that all looks really great. And the peppers were homegrown in a garden right down the road, so extra awesome. So as soon as this contest prep is over, hopefully James will make me some chicken kebabs like this, because it definitely doesn't look like this for my meals, you guys. Here's James's favorite grilling buddy, Rhino. He loves it when chicken and steaks fall off the grill and he gets
me grilling it. Now I'm gonna eat it, baby. I can't wait. So serving size is 3 kebabs. That's what I'm gonna eat. I'll probably pack these up for lunch. Like I said, swap them out, either eat them lunch or dinner with the pork chops. I'll swap them in and out. Let's give it a taste, man. I can't wait to taste this thing. Fantastic, y'all. And you notice the only carbs I'm getting is from the pineapples and the veggies here. Again, I don't like a big heavy meal in the middle of the day. It'll make me feel sleepy. So this is perfect. I'm gonna go ahead and finish it. Turned out fantastic.
So you guys saw what James has for lunch. This is what I'm eating for lunch today. I've got 4-ounce tilapia fillet, got some arugula, and then some rice cakes. I don't have them sitting out here right now, but 2 of those. So it's a little different of a meal. Like I said in one of our live videos, I really like to make sure I'm getting enough carbs in, especially before my training sessions. It's actually a little training tip for you guys. If you want to actually still train with intensity while eating very low calorically, you got to be strategic about where those carbs go in. So in any case, this is what my meal looks like. I love the arugula. So anytime you're eating these kind of leafy greens, it gives you the feeling of fullness without having a lot of calories to it. And not only that, fun fact about me, I don't have a gallbladder anymore. And so arugula, because of how bitter it is, actually helps with bile production. So this helps me to digest my food a little easier. Now you might be wondering, why tilapia? So tilapia is actually one of the best protein choices in terms of low GI stress, and it actually leaves like little to no trace in your GI tract as your body's digesting this, versus chicken and some of the other heavier meat. So anytime you can do a white fish like this, tilapia, cod, if you're in contest prep, it is a go-to. I will say I've been eating this for 2 meals just about for the last 3 weeks. So I'm a little sick of it, but nevertheless, it's a really solid meal. You're getting a lot of protein. Now to make it all taste better, because after a while, you know, you get a little bored of the tilapia, I do really love this G. Hughes sugar-free barbecue sauce. There's literally just 2 carbs per serving, and that's if you're doing 2 tablespoons. I literally just measure out a tablespoon of this, you guys, and I'll put that on the tilapia. And then, of course, I still want the healthy fats in my diet, so I do add about a tablespoon of extra virgin olive oil to this as well. And I'll just cut this up and eat it. And then on the side, I'll do 2 rice cakes, just lightly salted as part of my lunch as well. But there you have it. That's what I'm eating. So for right now, it's not that different than James. I mean, he doesn't have like a starchy carb, either do I, other than maybe the rice cakes. So both really excellent healthy choices for your meal prep. So I'm getting ready to bake the tilapia. So it's pretty easy. All you have to do is kind of thaw it because it was frozen, and then season it and pop it in the oven. Takes about 15 minutes in total. The one thing I will say, you do have to measure your tilapia. I have a food scale because they're all different sizes. So for instance, this piece right here is less than 3. It's like 2.6 ounces, whereas this larger piece is about 6.5 ounces, which is interesting because they advertise them as perfectly portioned 4-ounce pieces, but they're not. So don't fall victim to that trap, you guys. Make sure you take the time, measure it out so you know exactly how much you're getting. Now, in terms of seasoning, I'm keeping things pretty bland because I'm in contest prep. So one of my go-to seasonings is this Flavor God seasoning here. It's really great because it doesn't have a lot of sodium. So I'm tracking my electrolytes very closely, and so potassium and sodium matter, so I don't want to get a lot of sodium with this. So you can go ahead and measure it all out. It's pretty easy. So I'm literally just gonna put about a 1/4 teaspoon on these, each one. That way I'm not getting too much on there, and I can track it. Everything when you're in contest prep is perfectly measured, has to be precise. So keep that in mind if you are getting ready for a contest. And so that's a lot different than, you know, how James prepped his food. He's in a maintain, and it's, you know, he can go ahead and be a little heavy-handed on the seasoning and maybe not track and log that. But when you're in contest prep, you absolutely have to, so make sure you do that. But there you have it. You know, this Flavor God seasoning is Fiesta Sweet and Tangy seasoning. I highly recommend it. It tastes great, y'all. And it doesn't have any sugar, right? There's 0 calories, 0 fat. There's only 35 milligrams of sodium for a 1/4 teaspoon. And yeah, it's got less than 1 gram of carbs, so basically nothing. If you look at a lot of your McCormick's and other stuff, they add sugar to the seasonings. So you want to make sure that you understand what's in your seasoning that you're putting on your protein. Doesn't make sense to do all this tracking just to ruin it with your spices, right? So, all right, well, I'm gonna go ahead and pop this in the oven, you guys, and it'll be ready in about 15 minutes. You guys, I must totally have prep brain because I totally forgot to put the asparagus in the oven at the same time as the tilapia. But in any case, this week my vegetable of choice is asparagus. Asparagus is a really great choice because it has natural diuretic properties. So if you're trying to flush water out of your physique, you definitely want something to help get that moving. So asparagus is a great choice. And I typically will eat that at dinner time. So yeah, I'm gonna go ahead and pop this in the oven now and then pull the tilapia out. So it's totally contest prep brain. I'm sure you guys can relate. Well, the good news is the tilapia is done. Oh yeah, check it out. If you can eat it fresh out of the oven, it is absolutely gonna taste the best. Unfortunately, I don't have that luxury, so I will end up cooking about 2 to 3 days worth and then I'll recook. But at least saves me a little bit of time having to meal prep it every night. Because I do eat it couple days after, I typically will eat it cold instead of reheating it. The only time I eat it hot is like right out of the oven. And yes, that's my little meal prep buddy. Freddie's still hanging out here, you guys. Here he is. Oh, look, he's looking straight at the tilapia. He is a glutton for food, very food motivated, but in any case, little bud's still hanging out. All right, guys, well, I will catch you at snack time. All right, guys, I made it to snack time. So usually mid-afternoon, I have another snack. In my program for my 1,000 calories, I do a scoop of whey protein in the afternoon. I just mix that with water. If I was in off season, I might mix it with some almond milk or something, but just water for that during contest prep. And then I will do a couple of Brazil nuts. I don't know if you guys know this or not, but Brazil nuts are like a superfood in terms of nuts. They are really great for antioxidant purposes. And, you know, they have a lot of vitamins and minerals, especially selenium, which a lot of people don't have a lot of. And it's really great for, again, antioxidant purposes. And Brazil nuts give you a lot of healthy fat. So that's also really good. And yes, you can hear probably my meal prep buddy, Freddie, down there barking. In any case, well, it's snack time. I'm gonna go ahead and have this. And yeah, we'll see you guys at dinner.
So you saw what I ate for breakfast and lunch. It's not much, right? Here we got the big meal, baby. This is dinner. This is what we've been waiting for. I'm gonna eat this and I'm gonna go to bed. It's Sunday for Camille and I. It's a heavy workload. I'm tired. I'm ready to eat. I'm ready to go to bed. All right. So we started with the cucumber tomato salad. Check it out. I'm going to eat a third of that. So that's 3 days worth of cucumber tomato salad. Then we're going to have a burger. Leftover cheeseburger from meal prep last week. On an onion roll. This is when I'm getting my carbs in, y'all. It helps me sleep. Get my calories in. And then dessert. We're gonna have peanut butter, banana, honey on bread. That's the big meal. This is the one we've been waiting for. It's the good one, tastes good. All healthy stuff, all good stuff. This is what I eat. There you have it.
You guys saw me cook it, so it shouldn't be any surprise. I'm having tilapia and asparagus for dinner with a couple of rice cakes. So pretty simple. Like I said, I don't like to eat too super heavy at nighttime. I like my biggest meal to be breakfast, but this is really great dinner here. You got your lean protein source. You've got your greens here, which is also a diuretic, like I explained earlier. And then we got a little bit of carb here to top it off. In terms of what I'm gonna put on it, just a little hot sauce. I did the G. Hughes barbecue sauce earlier, so I'm gonna do a little variety and nothing but a little sprinkle of salt and a couple sprays on the spray butter. And be careful with this, guys. Like if you put more than 4 sprays on, it does have caloric significance. So anything less than 4, it doesn't. But just keep in mind, you can't be like, you know, power pumping it or anything like that. But here it is. Here is dinner. So we are at the end of the day. This is my last meal. So there you have it, full day of eating. Well, that's a wrap, guys. So if you ever wondered what an IFBB pro versus amateur athlete eats in a day, this is it, you guys. Remember, James is kind of in a maintain phase, if you will, or a slight like body recomp, whereas I am just, you know, a few days shy of the stage, so drastically different diets.
Yeah, definitely. We should do this again when we're bulking so we can see the difference, but yeah.
So all in all, I hope you enjoyed this video. For more like it, definitely check out our different playlists. And as always, hit that like and subscribe. Camille and James, 88 Fitness Training.
Lift, dominate, accelerate. 88.